Hello, I'm Sora Luxon, and this is Tarot Card the Hermit. The Hermit is sage, teacher, and leader, usually a person who is pulling back from the outside or exterior world, a symbol of an individual choosing to focus on the interior rather than that outside world. This is the representation of prudence. There is a depiction of great privacy and contemplation here. There is a thoughtfulness. Emblematic of the third level of initiation, a wayfinder leans on his staff as he brings illumination to his own footsteps on the path ahead. Well hooded with head lowered in humble contemplation of his task, he's giving full attention to the method that he's using and those details along the way. This is the earth-mantled pilgrim, ever seeking in his advanced age under the darkness of night, and yet there is a lively green of vitality and eternal spring, both without and within him. This is the sage, the spiritual journeyman, the traveler who may be advising of a guide or teacher characteristic, either in you or another. Traditionally titled the prophet or the wise prophet, the Hermit is a card of knowledge being searched for at the highest or deepest possible levels, and then having that knowledge, that wisdom applied rightly and well. This is the wisdom card, but there is action in this wisdom as shown by the search. The wisdom being gained from possibly divine sources here, it isn't passive at all, but is being searched for knowingly and then used knowingly as well. The wise man, the hermit, is one of the three magi mystically veiled within the tarot deck, along with his brothers of the path, the Hierophant and the magician. And so this is also a representation of what that symbol portrays. So if this is referencing you, it could be speaking of solitude and great virtue, that you have, hold, and employ your values and belief systems, that you have a very deep understanding of what is actually genuinely important in life. The sage is one of the most trustworthy trumps in the deck as well, so a need for discretion might be called for. Bite your tongue, silence is golden. Someone might require that you respect their information with the greatest possible secrecy or privacy just now. This is a master, an expert, and that road is often traveled alone in order to attain the highest possible goals. As the wise prophet lights the way, he leads others along the rocky road. He's solemn and circumspect because his authority, his ability to lead others, it doesn't need to be shown off or bragged about. This is a real leadership of substance that's difficult to hide from knowing eyes, no matter how cloaked he may be. His true power is going to shine forth. The Merlin is both prophet and humbled, cloaked disciple of the mysteries that he comprehends. This is someone who isn't easily distracted, but instead is very focused and engaged in their search or in their project or research. They are deliberate, cautious, and give great attention to all the finer details along the way without ever losing sight of the whole. So what to do if you pull the Hermit? Well, look for some shade. Find the privacy you need. Take some well-earned time for yourself and for the things that really matter. It's all right to want solitude. If you need quiet space to reflect, take it. If not, go ahead and avoid anything superficial, any superficial activities, fake or disingenuous relationships. Instead, actively seek out and give your focus to the deepest possible meanings of the truly authentic relationships around you. Be aware that others could be looking to you for guidance. You are a role model, a guide to someone else, a leader to someone else. You are showing others the way, whether or not you realize it. So take the time to correctly represent your own highest values accurately. Continue along your road of patience, vigilance, and honesty. It's serving you well, and it's serving others as well. Your wise actions are the lamppost for others who may be confused or lost along the way. And you don't need to wait for them to catch up. Just keep silently walking forward, being that light that you are, and they'll follow if and when they're ready. Acta non verba is Latin for actions, not words. And that is what you should be doing. That is what the Hermit does. Let your actions speak to others for you. If someone does need counsel or advice, give it. And if you require counselor advice, find the wisest individual you can to gain it from. And that person might be yourself, silently in contemplation. So what if you draw the Hermit in its reversed form? Well, the Hermit reversed is usually just a very direct suggestion to stop being a hermit, to get back out there, put yourself out in the world, get out of the house, start involving yourself with the world and life more, engage in things, all of that sort of stuff. You could be too withdrawn, too pulled away and holed up. So go mix it up, live a little, get social. Maybe you're refusing to heed good advice that other wise people are offering you. Perhaps you're feeling very isolated or very lonely in some way. You could be displaced or alienated, possibly from a loss of some kind. You might be doing fake or self-distracting things or activities, carrying on in shallow relationships, for instance, in order to avoid a deeper loneliness or pain that you haven't really dealt with yet. Rather than lighting the way forward on your own journey, you may be overly fascinated by the past. You might be obsessing about things that have already happened, rather than looking ahead to seek out the wide and welcoming future that's before you. This could also be advising that you just aren't an expert in something that you're attempting to do, or that there may be a leader or guide you're following who is a charlatan, or perhaps a false guru of some sort, someone who teaches others with poor judgment or with suspicious tactics or motivations. There's a bad method being employed by someone here in the reversed Hermit. So if that person's you, if you're the leader on a project or the teacher of others being referenced here, take a good hard look and double check your methods and how you're applying them, because something isn't right or isn't coming from the right place for the right reasons. Look to your moral compass or the moral compass of those you rely on for guidance, and make really sure that everything is well aligned and authentically ethical. Double check yourself and those you lead, and also those who lead you. Get out and interact with others and activities more. Open yourself up to and connect or reconnect with things and people, and be welcoming of the future. Until next time.